Secondary IOL fixation, navigating techniques, challenges, and optimizing outcomes. I am Dr. Nithin Keshav Srinivasan, retinal surgeon, Madurai Eye Center, Coimbatore. Effective management of surgical aphakia forms an essential part of a retinal surgeon's arsenal. Variety of techniques have been developed to fix IOL in the absence of capsular support. Each new technique builds upon the previous, aiming to enhance visual outcomes and long-term IOL stability. This video presents the journey of a surgeon in pursuit of an ideal technique for secondary IOL fixation. The first technique described is iris claw retropupillary fixation. The PMMA iris claw lens is inserted through the scleral tunnel. One end of the lens is tucked under the iris and enclaved. The other end of the lens is enclaved in a similar fashion. The IOL is held with a special forceps throughout the entire time. This is a simple technique needing a very short learning curve. The second technique is sutured 4-point fixation. Two scleral flaps are made 180 degrees apart. The suture is threaded through a 24 gauge needle. The needle is passed 2 mm from the limbus, exited at the opposite side, and the sutures exteriorized. The process is repeated to form a suture loop. Through the scleral tunnel, the suture loop is taken and cut. The cut ends are tied to an eyelet of an IOL haptic. Suture ends that were exteriorized prior were tied. Sutured 4-point fixation using a Gore-Tex suture. A foldable intraocular lens with 4 eyelets is taken. An 8-toe Gore-Tex suture is passed 2 mm from the limbus and taken out through the scleral tunnel. Suture is passed through 2 eyelets on one side of the intraocular lens. Using a max grip forceps, the other sutural end is exteriorized. The process is repeated on the other side. Sutural tension gets titrated to center the intraocular lens. The advantage of this technique is the IOL can be centered even if the sclerotomies are not aligned. The fourth technique is the sutureless intrascleral fixation, the Chariot's tunnel technique. Sclerotomy is marked 2 mm from the limbus. Scleral groove is made parallel to the limbus. A 26 gauge needle is bent to form a track through the scleral groove. The needle track is formed for haptic insertion. The haptic is exteriorized using a max grip forceps and then inserted into the needle track. The final one is the flanged IOL intrascleral fixation, the Yamane's double needle technique. 2 points are marked 1.5 mm from the limbus. Second point is marked 2 mm from the first point, oriented in an opposite direction. The intrascleral needle track is formed using a 26 gauge needle. The needle is directed towards the first mark made initially and then angled into the vitreous cavity. A similar needle track is formed on the opposite side. A 3-piece IOL is placed over the iris. Using a max grip forceps, the trailing haptic is first railroaded into the needle track. Needle is maneuvered to aid the second haptic insertion. The second haptic is then railroaded into the needle. The needle is pulled gently to exteriorize the haptic. Haptic is dried and flanged using cautery. This technique is minimalistic and does not require a peritomy but has a slightly longer learning curve. The technique showcased represent one surgeon's journey over the years. As technology and biomaterials advance, innovative techniques will continue to emerge, offering improved outcomes. Aim of this presentation is to highlight open-mindedness in surgical practice. Path forward is unlearn, relearn, and evolve. Thank you.